Hey, hi everybody! Boom! Tonight we are finally in live. Welcome everybody. So tonight it will be a live longer than usual. Let's wait for the other people to tune in. As usual, let me know if you have any problem in hearing my voice, or I don't know, whatever. So I can adjust. How have you been? Because tonight will be kinda intense, as in we will always have external guests coming and telling us their story, their version of the cake. So we are going to actually talk about the challenges that a recording artist might find, you know, in during its thing, during its career. So basically and simply like that. So yeah, this is it. It will be interesting, I hope. Let me just put my website well visible. So as it scroll, let me load. Okay, is the music too loud? Is the music okay? Can you hear me? You can't. How is it? How is not? Have you been? Hi Dusty Chainsaw, have you been? Elsie says hi to everyone, but she is not. She can't. The music a little lower. Okay, and a little lower it will go. Is it fine right now? So yeah, today we'll be having different guests. We'll be having for now booked three guests with a probable fourth guest coming later on at around 10. So we will be having actually two ladies for sure. So I mean, it's like it will be a very interesting live. So two recording artists, and one of them is also, she's also a lawyer, and they will give us their version of the journey. They will tell us what are the, you know, the challenges that they found in the recording, you know, process. Why I think is an important theme that is not being explored very well. Well, as a recording engineer, I can tell you that sometimes we give to the artist too much workload. In which sense? In the sense of thinking that the artist has to do everything alone, which again is not really true. Might be true in some situation, but not always, in my honest opinion. Why? Because often is also how we direct them. Like sometimes in my career, I received like very good, sorry for the mess on my table, very good recorded material from a technical point of view, but it's like on the emotional side, on the delivery, the footage is not there. It's not really there. I mean, it's there, yes, it's on tune, it's there, the dynamics is there. But I mean, I feel, you know, there is that emotion missing, that emotional side missing. Who's causing the problem, or rather, who is not, you know, delivering? The artist or the engineer? In my opinion, I think is the engineer. Oh, thank you, Paris. Thank you for the follower, Paris Kirimi. Now she's following. Thank you. I hope all is good in Nairobi. So, I think that the problem is the cause of that non-delivery is in the engineer, in the producer. Why? We do not only have to take care of levels or you know, effects, cables and things like that, but we also have to be to use a word from Games of Thrones, like the warden of that emotion being carried out. So as producers, we need to take the artist by the hand and guide him or her through the whole process. In order to squeeze from the artist every juice, to squeeze out every drop of that emotional juice that they have. So for this, I think is a topic that is you won't find it around. You won't find it how to make an artist emotional. You won't really find it on the web. Good, bad. But I mean, surely this is one of the things that will help you make do the difference, no? So having to know, get to create that bond, to exploit that emotionality that an artist has to offer. Remember that at the end of the day, we are dealing with music, so we are dealing with expression. What does it mean? It means that we are dealing with people struggling to express themselves. So a thing is to express yourself in a cold place where people are even treating you rudely and not really paying attention to what you do. And another thing, it's to find to find. Please, Waxy Paxy, comment in chat. Even my grammatical mistakes, you know. So it's like a thing is do this, express yourself in a place where people are, where there is some warmth, you know, where there is some human warmth. And another thing is to express yourself, is give out that kind of expression somewhere where people are hostile, people look at you with sufficiency, like she can make it, he can make it, we don't know. I mean, look at you from as if they are on the top, no? So one of the quality that we have, why we need to be humble, no? Because of this. Also because of this, I'd say. Because we need to offer that level of comfort. We have to put the artist in a comfort zone in order for them to express, for them to express themselves at their best. So yeah, that's the thing. No idea what you're talking about. So you are there. You are watching it. You're just. So yeah. Hi Spanora, how are you? How have you been? So now I say, before I speak too much, let's welcome the once met an artist that recorded their track while drunk but couldn't do in the studio sober. Oof, bullshit. In my opinion, like alcohol just makes you distant, I guess. Like, it doesn't give you control. I mean, okay, it can be a thing. In the past, we know stories of bluesmen that only played correctly while laying on the floor, all drunks and things like that. But those might be rare cases. Okay, the norm it's a different thing. Okay, so let's welcome the first guest of this evening, Enoch Wambua, which I'm trying now to reach. I had the luck to work with him when I was back in Nairobi, and here we are. Hi Enoch.
Hi.
Boom, you're live.
Yeah.
Let me just put your name and handles and do everything. So, tell us about yourself. How are things?
My name is Enoch Wambua. I'm a singer-songwriter and generally an artist from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya right now. And the man himself, Marco, did my first album. He mixed and mastered my album.
It was an experience. I can confirm it was a pretty good experience, actually.
Yeah, but I know being the first album, there's so much. Okay, I'm starting to get into what we're talking about.
Yeah. Mix and mastering will be for another day. So you didn't do the recording with me. You actually one day you knock at my door telling me do the mixing and mastering, and they said yes, man. But that's another story. So before you came and knock at the door, What happened? Like how did that album? How that album did even started? To be in your head. What was your process?
I was transitioning from being in a band to now being a solo artist, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt I needed to do something significant
Mm-hmm.
to show that transition. So I was writing songs, and I felt it's a good expression to compile it and put it in an album. So we started the process with my very good friend called Modest,
Mm-hmm.
the producer. Big shout out to Modest.
Yeah, I invited him tonight, but I think he was busy with something.
Yeah, he's actually finishing my song today.
In the chat they are asking. I don't know if you can read the chat, but people are asking, where is your next album coming?
My next album. Well, right now I'm working on singles mostly.
Uh,
But sometime either next year or next year but one. I'm not sure if it's an album, but I'm doing a project.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It might be an EP.
It might be an EP. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Will surely be posted on the handles. I mean, this guy is the only man who was able to put his name and second name as a handle, without numbers, without any trick. So you can find him everywhere, but just by writing Enoch Wambua. But
Omboa. Yeah.
anyway, so
Mhm.
okay, you felt the need, you felt the urge to record this album.
Yeah.
Next step, what has happened?
Next step is we're working on the album, and we're feeling because an album is not a small project, you need it to sound good, and you need it to have an international receivership. So, being an upcoming artist, definitely you don't have a lot of money, but you put your resources together to be able to make the album work. So we do the entire album in Modest's house. He has a home studio, and so we did the entire process there. And I think I'll just get into my experience of recording. My experience of recording was interesting because I've not done an album before, and it was different because I've just been writing songs and going to studio and recording. But now in this context of an album, you have like to put a theme, and you have to like be telling a story, because an album is like, for me, I feel like an album is like a musical book. I'm taking you to page one to the last page. So yeah, that was my experience of the album. I put in thought in the
So
album.
you are more like for a concept album, like rather
Yes.
than a collection of songs, you like telling a story.
Yeah, for this album, I was intentional with that. That's why even the name of the album, yeah, it was a mark of my transition from being in a band to now being a solo artist, and now being independent, now being able to share my voice as Enoch Wambua.
So you started basically thinking about with thinking about a theme with a concept, and then
Uh-huh.
you compose your album. You write the song according to it, or
Actually, it happened differently. I had like four songs done, and I felt they were all taking the same direction.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So those four songs dictated the entire album, dictated
Mm-hmm.
the direction of the entire album.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't that I had a theme, and then after that I wrote the album. It was I wrote random songs, four random songs, and then I felt these songs will do well if they are put together in an album. And then now I now concentrated on working on an entire album.
So, what are the challenges of that you encountered?
During the process.
Yes.
Um, Challenges for me were okay. one of the biggest challenges which you were part of, and you were telling us that we need to work on is is the quality of what we were using, because we are starting up and we don't have expensive gear or the best quality gear to have the best quality sound. So that, and I feel that is a major problem for many people who are starting up. Yeah, so that was our biggest problem. I, I when I listen to the album right now, I feel there's so much we would have done better with what we have now and the know-how we have now. Yeah, and also something else about that album is I feel like my songwriting has changed. I feel like
Okay.
right now I feel like right now I'm writing better than how I wrote the album.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah, so that is another challenge for me I faced.
So you basically matured, ripened like as an artist.
Yeah, I can feel the growth.
You
Yeah.
can see the growth.
Yeah.
How did you founded your album?
How did I? Sorry.
How did you raise the cash to?
Um.
If it's legit to ask, eh? Like if you
I,
if you robbed a bank, like don't worry, you can even not answer to this question.
I did a money heist or some
A money
sorts.
heist, yeah.
For me, I've been getting to understand the music business. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
concentrate on the art, we forget the business side of things. And so one of the ways that I made money for working on this album is I did the album launch, which is very funny. So I did the album launch
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I was selling tickets, and that's how I made money. That's how I
Okay.
raised the money. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
That's one
Okay.
of the
Okay.
ways. Also, I've been doing merchandise.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
I've been doing merchandise, so I have merchandise out that I sell. And also I do gigs. I do live gigs.
So they sustain you a lot, actually.
Sorry?
Live gig. They
Sorry?
sustain. They work to sustain.
They're not what they're sustaining the music, but I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I can't entirely live off of that right now. I feel like maybe in the next year
Mm-hmm.
it will be more sustainable now, because I feel like the more you do it, the more you grow into it, and the more you understand what is happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
before I go to the next guest, I have a couple of questions for you from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a songwriter, is rhythmic singing and tempo of the song the best part for you, or is the melody that is the most important part? So, are you a rhythm guy or a melody person?
I'm a combined guy. What do I mean?
So, a balanced
Uh,
approach.
Sorry.
A balanced approach.
Yes, some songs come.
Mm-hmm.
Some
Mm-hmm.
songs the melody will come fast,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then words will come later. Some songs, the words. I've literally written a song in like 30 minutes. All the words came, and then I took up the guitar. My writing is because I'm also an instrumentalist. I play the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
being able to play the guitar has helped me write, because now I
Okay.
have that's why I'm saying I have I have a balance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because some songs will come with the melody, some songs will come with the words. But I'm really
Okay.
big with words. If you listen to my songs, you'll realize I'm really big with words and how
Yeah.
I'm using the words. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I already post the link for on Amazon Music to buy your album. So for people that would like to support you. So another question, when you post your music online, do you consider the worldwide market or the local? Even in terms of writing and production?
Even in terms of writing, okay. I've stopped paying attention to that. I've decided to write genuinely. I've decided to write not thinking about the market, but giving the market what I have.
Okay. That's a nice approach.
Yeah, because I feel if you let the market dictate you, you'll not have an originality feel to your music. You'll be running because this sound is doing better right now. You'll be seasonal. So I decided to write and just express because I feel that is more important, because as a creative you have so much in you. So that's what I do. I don't let the market dictate my sound.
Okay. Last question before I let you go. What is lacking in terms of the market, in terms of the production side? What is lacking in Kenya, and how can the situation be better? Boom.
That's a wide question. I feel like there's a lot that is lacking in terms of production.
Fast three things.
One, I feel like you see the same thing about sound and about with the question you've asked me before of songs, of how I write. I feel like producers I feel like they take the same settings and put in everyone, instead of how a song is independent and how different productions should be different because it's a work of art.
I get
And
it.
I feel like we need to work on that. We need to work on each product is different, not to make sure that we don't sound the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
no, I get it. I get your point. Point. So, Enoch, any message to leave to my audience?
I'm about to release a new song.
Please.
If you're meeting me for the first time, I really have a lot I want to share in my music. I'm releasing a song next week, actually. Yeah, so if you vibe to my music, you can get it.
Okay.
It will be on all platforms. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you're having a lot of love from the audience. So Enoch, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I hope I'll mix and master your next song. We'll see.
We're definitely working together.
Okay. Yeah. So you're welcome. I hope I'll hear from you very soon. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you to have been with us. Have a good night and keep watching the show,
Yes, I will definitely do. And I pass my love to everyone.
Yes.
Who's watching.
Follow Enoch Wambua on IG, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Where else?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, all those platforms.
YouTube, Skype. See you, boss. Bye. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, guys, well, we heard about Enoch. So he's a guy that he likes to be truthful to himself, in terms of its writing, in terms of its inspiration, in terms of whatever he does. Sorry for the vape in the mic. I I ask for forgiveness. Sorry. So now there is a bit of change in the lineup of the guest, because I'm having a guy straight from Toronto, Canada, I hope, I think. And this guy, it's, if I'll find, why I'm not finding him. Wait, because in all of this, you know, there are so many factors to take into consideration. And I'm not seeing him here on my Skype. Why? So yes, that's the basic idea. Okay, if I don't have an answer, unfortunately, we'll have to skip him. But yes, so basically that's the thing. Like, be truthful to yourself. Question 1, is raining or snowing? Here it's raining, like raining, like winter is nini. Let me invite the few delayers that are asking me now the address from the stream. But yeah. So yeah, Enoch did an excellent job. I really liked whatever he did. Cool. A second. Okay. Ian, I've missed you too. Hey, I know that I owe you a master, but you never sent me the mix. So how can I give you something I owe you if you don't send me what I need? Let me see. Okay. Cool. So let's call Gundip Virdi from Toronto, Canada, the frontman and singer of the band Straight Line Connection, which is one of the greatest rock band in Kenya, and I had the honor to work with, actually. So let's just call the guy. Hey, hi Gundip, how are you?
Marco, what's going on, man?
All good. You are in live with other people. So wait a second. You are on live stream with other people.
Oh, great.
You are, yes. Boom. Here is Gundip, guys. Now they can see and hear you. So,
hi everyone, how's it going?
I've introduced you like as the frontman and the lead singer of the band Straight Line Connection. And people are asking me what a frontman is. So, who's the better person? Who's a better person to tell us what a frontman is?
Yeah, so guys, my name is Gun from Straight Line Connection. I play the guitar and vocals, and we're a three-piece band. So there's me playing the guitars and the vocals, and then there's a drummer and the bassist. I guess a frontman could be the person who's a main vocalist. I think that would define a frontman in any band, I would say. But we write together, we jam together. I don't really like the term frontman. To be a band is of effort. So to me, it's we're a band.
Okay, sorry, the connection broke a bit, but I think people understood. So you don't like to be addressed like as a frontman. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. So, yeah, Straight Line Connection, they released an awesome, an amazing album. How was the reception of the album, by the way?
the reception has been amazing. I mean, it's been especially in the Kenyan scene. It's the first full-length hard rock / heavy metal album in Kenya. So the reception has been amazing. We were in the media covered it. We had an album launch. The sound was great. The sound was done by yours truly, Marco Silvestri here.
Yeah.
The sound engineering. And the mixing and the mastering was great. So I mean, all in all, people loved it. We're a new band, but reception has been amazing.
That's nice. Which kind of challenges did you had during the recording of the album? Wait, thank you, Mwangi, for the follow. Sorry, I have to announce it. People that are following me. So sorry. Yes. What are the challenges you encountered?
First of all, it's rock and metal is not a big scene in Kenya. So getting the right people who have the right knowledge for mixing a rock sound or a metal sound is difficult. So right off the bat, there was only like a handful of names I got from the rock community, and we settled on a couple people. Like before me and you met, Marco, we had done a recording by someone else, and he did a great job, no doubt. He mixed he did the recording and the mixing fairly well, but again, there was that little, I guess, specialty missing in the rock genre. And even the knowledge for sound engineering, I think, was missing as well. So yeah, those are challenges. I would say is the expertise in the genre of rock and metal specifically, because I can only speak to that genre, and the skill set required, and I think maybe even equipment, like even maybe the equipment they were using was not the latest equipment. The drum sets, so there was some challenges even with the equipment and I would say expertise, those two things.
Okay. So, but mainly the expertise, like
I would say mainly the expertise for sure, because equipment, I mean, is you can buy equipment, but expertise is tough to come by.
Okay, so no, because this is something I praise. I started to praise like decades ago, but years ago, and nobody's believing me because they think that with whichever equipment, chop, you press 2 buttons, the song is done.
No.
Exactly. So, and from an artistic side, how does it? What's your process of making a song?
Artistically, I mean, we have this band as a passion, and there's no record label behind it or whatever, so there's no pressure as such for banging out songs or whatever, and we just write what we feel. So I come up with the rhythm guitar parts. As music is always playing in my head, so whenever I get a riff in my head, I'll go and record it. Whenever, and then I just build on it. I just jam on it myself, and then I get the guys in, Ruben, our bassist, and Param, our drummer, and we jam on it, and we see where it takes us. They have an input, and they'll say, okay, no, this is not good. Maybe we should change this arrangement over here. And then Param comes up with the drums, and we jam on let's say a song or a draft song. We jam on it a few times, at least 10, 15 times or whatever, and then before we have a structure we can work with.
Okay.
Then the vocals, the vocals. Again, like when I write my riffs and my guitar parts and vocals, I don't force it. I never force it. I just wait for it to come to me and then take it from there.
So they just happen like that.
Yeah, I could be walking on the street and a tune just pops up in my head, or a certain vocal line just pops up in my head. But the main thing is you should always try and record those moments, because if you don't record them, you'll never know. You might miss an opportunity. You don't have to use them, but record them.
Yeah. That's very poetic, actually. That you have to record these moments to not forget them. So. And then people say that these rock people, metal people are just, They are very bad people, all satanic. They don't, they bite. They chop heads off. You see, guys, they don't bite. They are such darling. So, anyway, cool. Spaceless. Can you tell us a few words about this new album that you just released?
Yeah, it's so the name of the album is Spaceless. We released it in May. I believe it was mid-May or so. It's available on all online platforms, and it's a compilation of 10 songs that have been written over the last year and a half or so. Spaceless is just. I don't think the songs are connected poetically or so that, and condensed into the word spaceless. Spaceless is just one of the songs on it, and it's a powerful tune that we thought should be the name of the album. Spaceless is just about how you people are caught between two worlds, between two ideas, between two hearts or whatever, and sometimes you have to kill one side for the other side to survive. So when you're caught between two worlds or two whatevers, you're spaceless, and you have to let one side go to get out of that spacelessness. Pretty much.
Yeah, well, pretty intense now that I think on it. Now, before I let you go, because I know you are very busy, what's the time there, by the way? Because I don't know what it was.
It's 9:45 p.m.
Ah, so you're in Kenya now. I thought you were from Toronto, Canada. Now.
No. Right now I'm in Kenya.
Okay.
I live in Kenya. I live in this. Kenya is my home. I mean, I think I think maybe you're thinking about the time I was in Canada, but I was just visiting.
Okay. So now, before I let you go, there is a question. What do you look for in a drama, as well as people who can play on time with higher tempo songs? So basically, if I understood well, do you think in a drama you look about his technique or more of his expression?
For me, it's expression. For me, it's like I think expression, freedom. The way I write my music is also about freedom. There's no real rules or, no crazy shredding or whatever. It's just you just have to feel it. And if we feel it, we gel. Then you just know. When you gel, you know you gel. So I don't really look for crazy drumming skills, although they can definitely come in handy. But I mean, I haven't really, like Straight Line Connection, haven't really been in a position of having to look for a drummer, because me and our current drummer Param, founded Straight Line Connection, so we just gelled right away, and we've never really.
You are sorted.
Yeah, we're sorted. We've never really had to.
No, but I think this was referred to personal taste. Last question. Yeah. So there is a guy, Moses. He says that he has a lot of melody popping in his head here and there. So he's asking, how do you match the writing speed with the inspiration speed, if there is an inspiration speed?
There is an inspiration speed that.
Oh, we lost him. Yeah, we are.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I was just saying there should be inspiration comes to you at random times, and the thing is, if there's no pressure for writing, then I would say follow your inspiration speed, because inspiration is it's more powerful, and it comes in bursts, and just record everything you get, and then that'll help your writing speed as well, but don't force it.
Okay. Well, so do you basically use a recorder from the phone or as you walk, or you use the old trick that you call yourself and you use the, how do you call that thing to save the voicemail to record your inspiration?
I have a recorder. I have a recorder on my phone. So if most of the time I have a guitar on me, but if I don't have a guitar, I'll just hum it into the recorder. But mostly I have a guitar, so I just write the riffs, record them right from my guitar.
Okay. So, now, thank you very much, Gun. Thank you for your time. I think it's everything. I already spammed your album on the chat for people to buy. So please leave us the handle for Straight Line Connection. So how people can find your awesome band.
Yeah, thank you, Marco, for everything. Thanks for recording the album. It's been great working with you. Everyone out there, you can check us out. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just type in Straight Line Connection as one word or as three words is fine. But we also have a website, straightlineconnection.com. Everything is there.
Okay, I'm just writing the link on the chat. Boom. So thank you very much. I hope we'll host you soon, and we will surely stay tuned to listen to your next album. Okay.
I'll keep you posted. Thank you. All the best, guys.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Boom. So guys, interesting. I like having guests. It's a bit of a problem technically speaking, but it's exciting. So now, as a homework, go immediately and put a like on their page. Now, surprises. There is another guest. I promised you, ladies, but I brought you like just two guys. Wait. Surprises are not over yet. Now. I am calling a lady that she takes music from two sides. She is an amazing singer and performing artist, and also a lawyer. So let me call for you Immaculate Juma. Hi, Immaculate. Wait, that I'm resizing everything and putting you on the main screen with all the captions. Okay. Boom. So say hi now, people can see you.
Hi everyone. I don't know how many people are tuned in right now.
Hundreds of thousands maybe.
Yes, definitely. My name is Immaculate Juma. I am a recording artist and a lawyer, among other things.
How would you like to be remembered? As a lawyer or as a recording artist?
Sorry?
How would you like to be remembered? As a lawyer or as a recording
artist?
Okay.
For sure.
Tell us about your music.
Oh, wow. So my journey started in 2015. I joined a band, and then we had a couple of gigs. However, we didn't really merge as a band because we all had very different sounds. So we didn't exactly break up. It's just like one of those things where it just like phased out. So each of us have gone our separate ways and doing our different things. And I finally started recording this year.
Okay. What are you recording this year?
I am recording a lot. It's mostly music that I relate to, that is true to me, I guess, that makes sense to me. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's Afro mixed with everything. There's some R&B. There's probably going to be some Afrobeat at some point.
Why I didn't know about it? Me, I won't tire you anymore as a lawyer.
It's still in the works, Marco. It's still in the works.
Guys, she needs a producer. So you know what to do. So, jokes aside. What are the challenges that you find as a recording artist?
Plenty. There's wow. Where do I start? There's the market. Not being sure if the market is ready for your sound, because there's this sound that is already that's selling where we are. Challenges of people to work with, because everybody has a different skill, so you have to get different kinds of people to do certain things. Costs of recording as well, studio time. And sometimes you work with creatives who are so set in what they want to make that they really don't see your vision. It's about what they want out of this, so it's a bit difficult for that. As a female, producers can be a bit interesting.
Oh wow! Now that's a juicy gossip.
Yeah.
We want to name. No, I'm joking. I know we can't make any name, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's just like you just want to just do music. That's all you want to do, just do music. But lines get crossed at some point, and you're like, no, this is not what I signed up for. And at the end of the day, you're also scared because you don't want it to affect your project, but it does. So there's that.
Like if you refuse or if you accept.
If you refuse, or if you refuse, basically, because again, I think there's a complex that some producers have, that I am a producer. What's wrong with you? Why do you not see what's in front of you? Yeah.
Just to be clear, me and Immaculate, we never work together. Okay.
We've not worked together. I've not worked in Marco before.
No. This is the first time that we meet each other. But no, but I guess like here we can actually raise the debate on a whole other level, which is what does it mean being an artist actually in Kenya, a woman artist, a female artist.
Yeah.
So that I understand the struggle. But even like a lot of my students, female, come to me and tell me that they have problems. And this may be one of the reasons why I like to surround myself, like to have a female assistant in studio, because I know that at least with me they will be able to experience without getting harassed. So
yeah, that's important.
Because I heard it happens a lot there.
It does. It does. I don't know if it's just us, Kenya specifically, but I just know it's not fun when all you want to do is just produce music and you have to deal with everything else. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know that in Italy, if a guy gives too many attention, to a lady, he will have a print of the 5 fingers here and a cause in the court, like pa immediately.
Okay.
So it's like that doesn't really happen because of these reasons. But yeah, so the gender disparity. Then apart from that, aside from that,
they talk about money. So you gotta pay all these people, have to secure studio time, getting your music to be played on radio, on TV, getting concerts, getting booked for concerts. Because they want to book people who already have some kind of clout or reputation or some following, and if you're upcoming, that's a bit difficult. So I think it's a matter of just finding different ways to sort of hype yourself before you have to wait for somebody else to hype you. Yeah.
Okay. So you think that the problem are more with the market rather than with the process?
Yes, I think it's both. I honestly think there's both sides to it, because the market it's I don't know. I think I don't want to be those people who play victim, because I don't believe in playing victim, but it's just radio stations mostly like songs that are upbeat, that have a certain sound to them, and then there's artists who are hot right now. There's this gengetone that's going around, and that's what's hot right now. So there's that, as well as the process also has its own challenges. So you find by the time you're done with the process, just producing one track, it's taken a couple of months, and then when you put it out, it doesn't get the kind of reception that you want because you don't know people within the broadcast media. So it's a whole 360 kind of issue.
So, okay. Now, there is a question here.
Yeah.
Being a female that wants to lead the charge for a project, what are the problems you have to cope with a producer to face with a producer that want to take the lead instead of you?
I think you just need to be very firm with what you want and don't compromise on what it is you want, because when you compromise, then you leave room for more compromise during the process. Because I'm assuming if this is a producer, then you probably want to work with him you want to work with this person on more projects. So if you leave that kind of leeway at the very beginning, there's no telling how much he can push it with subsequent projects. So if at all you really want this person, you just have to make that kind of decision by yourself to just find somebody who can adjust to your sound or who can pick up your sound or what it is you want to make or create.
So setting the path straight from the start.
From the get-go. In fact, if anything, what I usually ask guys, because I also talk to musicians, so just if you want to work with a producer, also look at what they've produced and see, because sometimes also producers don't have, they also are maybe one-track people and they are very familiar with one sound, and you coming on board with this different sound so throws them off. So also look at the producer's portfolio and what they've done.
And so why, now this is my provocative question, no? Why can't you be the producer of yourself and maybe just look for a sound engineer?
It is something I'm actually looking into.
Like, for example, with Gun, the guy before, when they hired me, like, Marco, we need a sound engineer. End of the story. It's like, that's it. We know you're big on rock, boom.
Yeah, it's actually there's a lady, female artist who is a friend stroke client who's learning how to produce, and she was like, wow, okay.
But no, producing like in term, not in term of beat, in term of
in terms of what?
Being like the executive producer. Like you take the direction for your project. Like you have musicians, you say, I want this kind of beat, this kind of structure.
But I thought that's how it's supposed to work, because that's how I'd figure those kind of arrangements would work. If you know where you're going to get a producer services, you know what it is you want. No?
Well, it's like I think that nowadays the word producer is so abused. Even the way I use it, it's an abuse of itself. But this, again, it opens a totally new debate, like the difference between a sound engineer and a producer.
And a producer,
Like, because me, in all honesty, I see a lot of beat makers. So, and then the problem is that when a beat maker thinks he has superpower, he thinks he's a producer, which is not. Like in the real industry, a producer does not even do a single mix. It's just the guy who play the band in a box, makes the beat. Then there is the real producer, the guy who is in charge of the project, and say, I like it, I don't like it. So, but anyway, we'll really have to talk a lot about these things.
School us, please.
No, that will take another whole hour. but maybe it will be next. There is an article on my blog. Like, do you know the difference between a producer and a sound engineer? Let me link it here. But that could be a topic of the next live.
Definitely.
So you can even join us. Yes, Mick also this article trend, guys. I cannot only have the article for ADMI trending.
Okay.
It's like that's good. So now another question.
Yeah.
And this is very sharp. Are you tempted to follow trends or make what will make you happy?
So I believe music can be both ways. It is, of course, for passion, and it is for money and for profit making, because there's no way I'm going to spend all that money in studio not expecting to make some kind of a profit from it. So I think it's just about balance. Yeah, so my strategy has been to be true to myself, but at the same time make sure I am aware of what in the industry at the moment. So just striking that it's like a delicate line, but it's I guess personally for me that's what I feel is a way to make sure you not only are true to yourself, but you're also making some kind of a profit, because yeah, it just needs to make sense. It just needs to make sense.
So let's say you have to be liked from the market before.
You
Like it's not like that you can philosophy. No, it's like, for example, me I know that in Kenya people will never eat fried ugali. Okay.
yeah.
If I invest whatever I have in opening a kiosk which sells fried ugali, it's not really a wise choice.
Yeah.
So I sell something else which is fried, maybe not ugali. So to find something, intermediate, in the middle.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So even if you have a sound that doesn't sound Kenyan, you keep pushing it. At the same time, also make sure you're cognizant of what's going on in the industry, because you can't be ignorant to how the industry is working. You can't, because at the end of the day, you keep playing victim and saying the creator isn't playing my music, nobody's playing my music, but you're also not reading what's going on.
Well, it's like you also had the other guy, it's like they are the first metal band in Kenya. The reception of their album was super, and trust me, they really don't play something that could be played in Kenya, but they are making it. So you read the market, you keep pushing, and So, is it okay, Dusty Chainsaw? Like, this is the guy. Now, another question, the last, then I'll let you go.
Okay.
This as a lawyer. Do you try to inform other musicians on copyright?
Definitely. That's where the money is in the music. It's in the copyright. Because once you have the creation...
Take notes, guys. Start to take notes. Start to take notes. No, I'm telling to the audience to start to take notes.
Once you have the product ready, think of copyright like a land title. Think of copyright like the lease to an apartment. It's some kind of intangible property that you can transact with. So whenever you'll be signing contracts as an artist based on the kind of content you're making, you're going to be signing contracts that have a lot of copyright clauses. And if you don't understand how that works, you could easily sign away your rights, you could easily sign away royalties, you could easily get into deals that lock you down with a record label, a publishing company for years without you getting any kind of remuneration. So it's really important for you to understand not just copyright, but how copyright works. So how you can transact with copyright. So I don't want to get into like the specifics of it, but it's just important to understand, have a basic understanding of how copyright works and how music contracts work, because contracts are general, but music contracts are so very specific that they have some certain terms. If you're not familiar with those terms, it could really not go well for an artist.
Yeah. I get it. So, do you have a blog, a website, before I let you go? Otherwise, the live can go. Maybe we can have a live stream if you want, maybe in future, just about copyright, like how to kickstart, which aspect, people should...
I'm game.
Cool. So, where people can find you? If I want to hire Immaculate Juma tomorrow, where should I find her?
You could find me on Facebook, Immaculate Juma. You could find me on Instagram, Immaculate Juma. You can find me on Twitter, Immaque, so IMMAQUE. I have a blog where I talk about legal stuff within the arts. It's called Art Law Kenya, ARTLAWKENYA.
at lokenya.com.
Yes, right. Yes.
Boom. So I'm putting the link in chat, so
Cool.
people will be free to visit it even
Yes.
when the live will be offline.
Okay. All right.
Cool. So Immaculate,
Yes.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
One last question from me.
Uh-huh.
What can be improved? What could be improved in the music industry in Kenya?
Do we got enough time, Marco?
Wow, 10 seconds. I think that will just take 10 seconds.
What could be improved? The kind of interaction artists have with their audiences.
Okay.
Engagement to their audiences. We don't give them enough.
Okay. Yeah, now that there is now the whole thing about ethic group is like, can they be arrested or not? I don't know. Well, too many questions. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, thank you very much, Juma, Immaculate, to have joined us. And I hope we'll have that copyright live stream very soon.
Definitely. Let me know when.
And yes, we'll talk very soon. So, have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye bye. Whoa, guys, that was a lot. Thanks again to Immaculate Juma to have told us about copyright, music, and the situation between, connection between the musician and the industry. Now, last but not least, I want to invite an artist which I love a lot, and I had the honor on doing her live mix online. So last episode of the live mix episode. So I think like she has an amazing voice and she needs surely more recognition by the market. Now let me call Waxy, which is known here as Waxy Paxy, and ask her about what she thinks about the whole topic of the evening. Waxy, pick your call. Phone is ringing here. We are waiting, I'm waiting. Pick. No, she's not. Let me try and call her back. So, yeah, anyway, it's like whatever, I find whatever Immaculate told us very, very enlightening. So the importance of copyright and the lack of a connection between the market and the platform and the musicians, so the audience. So yes, I think live about copyright will be very important. But you see, it's like at the end of the day, be true to yourself. Like don't do like genre of music which is not yours. Like be truthful to yourself. Always, I mean, music is a form of expression, is communication. So communicate. and communicate your true self. Don't do something which is not you, which is not expressing who you are. Otherwise, people will know and won't buy your thing. So yes. Plus, again, it's like we can open a big chapter about the difference between a sound engineer and a producer. Wait, Mwangi, I'll tell you very soon. So, I feel like it's not a lack, but that investor don't see is not viable yet. No, the problem is different. I think that because of the lack of contract and because of the lack of understanding how important the music production is, like music is, the agency, like agencies in general, who are the one who are pushing jingles, etc., to get the best deal, they are playing downward with prices and everything. Plus, I mean, competition. Nowadays, you just buy a pair of speakers, a sound card, and you say, boom, I'm a music producer, I can do music. Not really. Or I can master, you know. Wow. So, to go to answer about Mwangi Jazz, like that, Mr. Producer, KRK Rocket G4 Edition or PreSonus like PPMC? PreSonus. PPMC stands for Permanent Presidential Music Commission, which is a studio that I built. I think the PreSonus could be a good bargain. They are really doing a lot in terms of equipment, also in terms of speakers. So of course, don't expect like something super pro, because for that range, but you can get something pretty fair. The KRK, the Rocket, I think is just marketing. It's just like wow. I don't know. I feel they are too colored. The wow was for a certain male musical teacher from out school. What are you talking about? I'm a bit lost, Dusty Chainsaw. But hey, I should make you mod if I know what to do. So yeah, that is the that's the thing. That's the thing, more or less. So come on, we are waiting for Waxy. In the meantime, guys, do you have any question before I can even keep about, you know, talking about the process? So what are the challenges, no? That they found, which was mostly out of the studio. Though I even think in the studio, like there are problems, like people, producers, no? That I would say beat makers, they don't have the process clear in their mind. So what happened? What happened is that not having the process clear in your mind, it will make you do mistake, and it's very normal, no? So, for example, in handling the artist in the right way, like there are some artists that they need to be pushed, but seriously pushed, even be treated badly, no, to get that anger out and really kick in the room. But then there are also other artists which they need to be treated softly, so, you know, one step at a time, because if you put too much pressure on them, they will collapse and they won't perform. Maybe they won't perform if you are even around. So that could be a problem, you understand? So for this, a sound engineer and a producer it needs also to be a bit of psychologist, no, in understanding quickly the people and how to handle them. Because it's a process, of course, then knowing the process clearly, it helps you streamlining these things. In the meantime that I talk and that we wait Waxy, if any of you had any weird recording experience, you could share it with us, no? So then again, it's like if you don't know how to handle people, that can be bad. For example, Juma told us about this producer that you go there, they are egocentric, like everything is about them, and basically you pay them and they control the creative process. But who are you to control my creative process? No. So I think the definition of sound engineer, music producer is kind of lost. Plus, since some of them, luckily it's not the whole category, guys, so don't get me wrong, but there are also these ones that they take advantage of their position to misbehave and misbehave badly, no? So I'm a producer, what do you mean? Like to quote Immaculate. So yes, it's very, very important that you know how to guide an artist in the recording process, because that artist is pouring out, his or her emotions in front of you in a cold, empty room, alone with you. Maybe you are on the other side of the glass, you are with your phone, you are talking with your friend. Can be kind of hard, no? So, yes, Waxy, we are still waiting for you as I'm talking. So guys, any weird experience? Any weird experience you had in the recording booth? Even you, Mwangi Jazz, I know you had some weird experiences. I remember you telling me about that time that... So yeah, but basically I guess that it's kind of the meaning, no, of sound engineer is kind of lost. Oh, here we go. So wait for it, Waxy. Wait that I put you on screen properly. Wait, they cannot see or hear you. Not yet. Wait for it. Guys, I'm working on it. Now you can see her, you can hear her, but you cannot see her. I'm working on making her visible.
Wow.
Yeah, talk. Introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hi,
What do you
guys.
do?
I am so sorry for the technical issues. I'm Waxy. I do many things, but for the purpose of this conversation, I'm a singer-songwriter. Yeah. And I just recently started recording my EP.
Okay, your EP about?
It's a concept album. So what I'm doing is
Boom, now people can see you.
Oh, now I have to look.
Okay, they are asking for a reintroduction.
Hi, guys.
No,
Hi.
a bit more hype. Hi, guys.
No, I'm a singer-songwriter. My name is Waxy. I'm sorry, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Yeah, and I do other things, but for today, I'm gonna just talk to you guys mainly about singing and writing and recording. Yeah.
Concept album about?
Oh yeah, so it's a concept album that's surrounds, I guess, the idea of soundtracks, the idea of music for film, and just stuff that, like, music that tells stories.
Okay. So meaningful music,
Yeah.
like not something just
Boom,
done
boom,
for the
boom.
sake of it. Boom, boom, boom. And I always
One
say boom, 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 but yeah. So, when did you started with music?
I started when I was 13.
13. Okay.
So I just joined high school. I went to an all-girls school. So imagine I was this tomboy and I didn't fit in, and everyone was auditioning for the choir. So I decided to audition for the choir because everyone was, and I just wanted to fit in. And I sang and I got in. And before then, I never used to sing. And then the love kind of just grew for music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you also play other instrument or you just sing?
I play the piano. So apart from joining the choir, I took piano lessons when I was in high school. So I play enough to write music, enough. And then after like form 3, I quit because I didn't like my teacher and I didn't like the rules, so I quit. So now I'm just like, I just play enough to write.
Okay. I hope you can read the chat. Can
No, I
you?
can't wait.
No, because they are also bombing you with questions. It's like, but
Yeah.
it's okay. Before we'll get there, but let's wait for it. So, this is your first album, or you already recorded other things?
This is my first EP.
Mm-hmm.
We're in very early stages, so there's a lot of brainstorming and rearranging and restructuring of songs. There's a lot of discussing order of songs and what goes first and what goes last,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of revising lyrics and things like those, which I've never done before. So now the people I'm working with are a bit more thorough than I'm used to, and I really like it because it makes me look at my music from a different perspective, which is always cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay. I get it. So, but you had other experiences, like in professional settings.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How was
And
it?
not all. It's There's so many things I can say about the experiences I've had, not just with the producers, which can be questionable, as Immaculate said earlier. Like, especially as a female musician, there's a lot of, like, sometimes it's not always direct, but it's like, I'll do you a favor if you do me a favor. And I don't take that nonsense. I'm not the type of person to take nonsense. So I'm like, does your mother know what you do? I always say something like that, and I move on. But not many female artists are bold enough to do that, or they don't feel empowered enough to do that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So that sucks. But other than that, I also have had experiences with session musicians that are not the best, especially when it comes to preparation and how much value they put on the time, like, you spend in studio.
I'd love you to make names, but I know you can't.
I
But we all
mean,
know them. I mean, the industry is so small that
yeah,
we can say we met each other just by talking about those people that come in studio not prepare with delay and things like that. But yeah, I really get what do you mean. So preparation, mainly.
yeah.
What does it mean? Preparation, it's like vast, no? You can
It
start from the
depends.
shower you take in the morning.
Yeah, it depends. So I think preparation is important for every party. So, for example, myself as a vocalist, things that you said the last session, things like doing my vocal exercises, things like just having my lyrics on check, things like revising the content and figuring out where you need to adjust, where you don't, so that you're maximizing, because the idea of studio is you're maximizing on time while giving the best quality, so that you're not spending time and money doing something but at the same time producing quality work. But then no man is an island. So if I'm prepared and then my session musician is not prepared, then we take 2 steps back. So it's very difficult to find people who have the same work ethic as you or me or the next person, especially in this industry. And because I don't produce and I can't produce and I don't play 5 instruments and I can't, it's sometimes you find yourself stuck, if that makes sense. So those are some of the things, especially that I struggle with. And so now I'm very particular with the people I work with. I'm quite particular.
With who are you working at the moment? Can we make names? Hello? Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yes.
Yes, you asked who I'm working
Yeah.
with.
No, sorry, I thought I deactivated the mic.
Oh, no, I had you. I'm working with Athieno, who is producing my album. I'm working with Noel Grass, who is a fantastic pianist, and I've worked with for maybe 2 years now. And then I'm hopefully working with you, hopefully.
But with me, it's like you have to pay me a lot of money. So if you pay me a lot of money, you can work with me.
Hey, money, quality. Hey, simple.
Of course.
Yeah.
Look
so
at me.
It's fine. Like
I am the representation of quality, you know. So jokes aside. But yeah. Okay, I get it. So would you like to tell us a couple of juicy experiences you had in studio?
I can think of some.
Hey, there are so many you have to think about. Just pick the first 2 from the cylinder.
The first one that comes to mind was me booking a session somewhere and then having a session musician coming in, and then in the middle of the recording just going like, can I pick this? So he goes outside, picks his phone, talks over the phone, and then he says, I have another gig I have to run to. And so me and the producer just sat there like, what? We've booked time and you're leaving. Great.
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
I've had a lot of, especially with, I'm glad, and this is, it's nothing personal, but like I'm glad my producer now is female, because there's so many male producers who try and come in and kind of impose their will on what you've written, especially for someone like me who writes my own music. So I'm not going into studio to ask for beats. I'm coming with a finished song. And so there's a lot of pressure to quote unquote go mainstream, and I'm not necessarily a mainstream artist, and I'm not interested in being a mainstream artist. So there's always kind of that butting of heads. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the guy who ran for another gig that will go into my my favorite number 1. So, what do you think is the lack of things? Like, what do you think is lacking the most in the industry? You can refer as the Kenyan industry, since it's the industry you are in. What do you think is lacking in it to become, let's say a professional? I'd say a professional industry, but yeah.
I think the one thing, like the first thing that comes to mind across the board is mediocrity. So I feel like most people in the industry are content with a certain level of expertise, if they have any. And so it's very frustrating to deal with that, because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and not many people can deal with that. And over the years, I've learned how to say no and to be like, okay, yes, but if I'm bringing my A game, why aren't you bringing yours? And it's not always taken the best way, especially because I'm a woman. So, I mean, if a guy came and said, me, I'm bringing quality and all that stuff, it would be received better than like me coming into a room full of male musicians and saying that. So that's the one thing I really struggle with. I struggle with mediocrity a lot. And so even now, the people in the industry that I try to surround myself with are people who have built a certain work ethic and they continue to grow, because in my opinion, there's always room for growth and for being better, always. So
do you think there is a lack of professionalism in the attitude? No.
oh, absolutely. Like, and professionalism like bleeds into things like coming late, things like being unreliable, things like things like committing and then not following through. Like all those things. I've specifically talked about like the quality of work, but there's all these other like proxy things. Like if I call you for a gig and I tell you practice is this day every week, you miss some days, you come others. Or like if I tell you, okay, there's a gig and they need someone and I've recommended you and they need this number of songs and they need this kind of song, and then I get a call from the person who asked for a reference and I'm told, hey, this person of yours is not someone I can rely on. So I'm very much for supporting each other, but I also just be good, like just do better, I guess.
But so do you think, for example, if now this is a very teasing question, no? Like if artists would pay more, will the producer or the sound engineer be more reliable?
I think it depends. It depends, because there are some producers you will pay exorbitantly and they'll still just kick you behind when it comes to like the quality of work, how reliable they are, and all that stuff. And
I had some people, some artists that they recorded with these big names producer, like 30 plus, $300 plus per track. Then they came to me crying, "Oh, can you fix the master?" And even just to get the pre-master was a total a thing. Yeah.
I don't have a like for me personally, I don't have a problem spending money, but like give me value for my money. I like my money. I'm not gonna even beat around the bush about this. I like my money.
Well, Waxy Gashanja is like, it's already self-explanatory. No.
Also because of the way, I think it's because also of the way I work. It doesn't matter if like, of course, pay me, but the quality of my work for me is super important. So I expect the same from the people that I'm working with. Yeah.
So you would like to, I mean, you would pay more if you get more. This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, but what do you think, like, as not as Waxy, like in general, even considering other people, like that lack of professionalism is because the lack of money or the lack of mindset in your industry?
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think there's a general presumption that music is quote unquote easy. So I'm going to speak from the point of view of vocalists. For example, and I'm going to kind of ask if there are vocalists in the chat, like how many hours a day do you invest, for example, in practicing, right? Like how many hours a day do you spend doing your vocal exercises? How consistent are you? Like, so if it's, I'm not even talking in terms of like how many hours a day. Do you do it every day a week? Do you do it 6 times a week? As an instrumentalist, how many hours a day do you spend practicing on your guitar, on your
But
piano?
this, to cut you short, like also as a sound engineer or a producer, is like how many hours per day do you study? No, how many hours per day do you practice? On this we are there. It's like, of course, if you say I'm a producer just because I bought my sound card, my laptop, my headphones.
Yeah.
No, but
And
yeah.
then, yeah, and then you come and say you want to be like Beyonce in 5 years. How? So then my question is how? Because this is someone who spends, I don't know, 8 hours a day, not even 8 hours a day. She spends most of her day like either in studio or at rehearsals. And so I believe that the amount of work you put in is directly proportional to what's gonna come out. And in my experience, I've seen that the vocalists that are more consistent end up having more skill than the ones who are quote unquote more talented, because there's work that goes into what they're doing. I don't know if you guys have heard about the 10,000 hour rule, where like basically it's a book.
Daniel Levitin. The author is Daniel Levitin.
Malcolm Gladwell.
No, and then you're reading the wrong book. Me, I know that theory. I read that book.
Yeah, but yeah, he references. Yeah, yeah. He
Okay.
references where he gets it from. But the point is, like, you have to the theory is that you have to invest 10,000 hours to be excellent at something, at a skill.
Yeah, let me. I'm putting like the link on Amazon.
Yeah.
So for people that would like to buy the book. I doubt that there are people that get original things in this chat, and that's another topic. It's like how can you complain that the Kenyan music, the Kenyan scene, or a certain music scene is not working if you are the first one who doesn't buy original music, who doesn't buy original software, who doesn't pay for what it gets. But anyway, that's another topic. I'm posting it. So
yeah, sorry guys, I'm a bit of a nerd, but whatever.
No, but it's okay. On this, I agree with you. Do a thing at least 10,000 hours to consider yourself good at it.
Like just be good. Like anyway.
So, do you think in 1 year I can put the Body of the Rock?
What?
You think in 1 year?
If you're consistent, Marco.
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yes. I might have to do a podcast, like me running in the park. That could be a good thing.
Yeah,
but anyway,
you're comfortable.
like yes. What's now? Before I go with the question of the audience, I wanted to keep you like as the last because I really had a couple of questions for you. So, what is in the recording process? No, what is the step you are more difficult with?
I think it's the handing over process. Because for so long I kind of for a while would write and then keep the song, and then if I'm playing a gig, I play the song as is, and then I just go back home. And then now with recording, there's a different dynamic because you are working with a bunch of people. Even when you're gigging, you're working with a bunch of people, but it's very easy to be like, to tell the pianist, no, I just need you to play, But now in studio, the dynamics are different. And then remember, you're recording something that's going to be hard forever. So this is different. Live, there's so much room and space for improv. I can sing a flat note and I'll be forgiven. But then recording has a different dynamic. You're dealing with different people. And there's kind of like a handover process where I come in with my music and take it to the producer, and I'm like, this is what my music sounds like and this is what it is. And then it's like, okay, this is your music. How about we do A, B, C, D, E, F, G to it?
Just to wait a second, just to make it clear, handing off as in trust with their capabilities.
Yeah. So the music is still mine.
Yeah.
But like at this point, because I know close to nothing about production, I'm like, okay, do your magic. Let's make this music.
Which I think is correct. It's like when you go in a restaurant, at a restaurant, you don't need to know how to cook.
Yeah.
Take my money, make me eat. You know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is always super difficult. And then, for example, we're doing something. We're doing an extra step with this producer I'm working with this time. That's different, that I've never done before. Which is basically, she sat down with some raw audios of my songs, and then had thoughts about it. And then we've had like a couple of sessions where we're sitting down and we're having a conversation. And I found that surprisingly difficult, because this is a different point of view. And I don't know about the creatives that are on this chat, but like for me, when I create, nothing is wrong, everything is perfect. And so I create from a very unbiased point of view. So now when this other person comes in, they have all these thoughts about all these songs. And so it's up to you to like take the things you're going to take and then just be like, but no, on like other things. So that's, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the handing over.
Yeah.
Basically. Well.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I never thought could have been a problem.
Oh,
Like by the moment you already choose me, like you choose me already, I think yeah, I'm done. She trusts me.
I mean, if you know, like people who are songwriters, they'll tell you. Even like if someone came and said, "Can I buy your song?" Like if it's a song that I've written for me, and then they're like, "Can I buy?" I'm usually like, I can write you one. I can write you your own song. Yeah, but this one is mine. Yeah. I don't know if there are songwriters on this chat. Maybe like tell us.
Yeah. There is Dusty Chainsaw. That is a songwriter. Also, there is Mwangi. There is Moses. I hope he's still online, Moses. So, wow! You really have a lot of questions.
Oh, bring them on! I'm excited.
So, first of all, 10 seconds. Have you ever looked for album artists, and how do you do it? Album artists, as in people who do the artwork for your album.
There's someone who I did a recording, and I decided against releasing earlier. But there's someone I have in mind, because I don't want my face on album art. I want it to be like illustration. So there's someone specifically that let me see. I don't know. He's called Zod Files on Instagram, at Zod Files, I think.
Which kind of quality do you look? What are the qualities that makes him qualified to be your album artist?
I look for difference. So what I have noticed, especially with like Kenyan albums, is like it's either like a really bold background, and then there's someone with a headpiece and like big jewelry and like a really pretty well done face, or like it's like someone in like it's plain background with like full glam, which is great, which is really nice. But then I like the idea of being different. So I very much I like odd creators. I like people who put things that are unlikely together.
Okay.
Because it's kind of the way I write, I think. Okay.
Okay, I get it. So now I don't know if let me read this question. It's a bit teasing. I don't know if the Dusty Chainsaw is going to be one of your number one hater after this question. Also, how do you write your lyrics, and have you also ever used a lyric generator?
I do not use a lyric generator, and maybe I should explain the history of my writing. Maybe it'll make sense.
Hi Herman, he joined us. Say hi to Herman.
Hi.
He really loved your song. He wanted the stems.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you. So I mentioned I didn't start singing until I was 13, but then before I sang, I would write a lot. So I wrote a lot of poetry. My first love was writing poetry, and over the years they've kind of married into each other. I read a lot. So I'm not. My vocabulary is decent. I did get a rhyming dictionary like maybe a couple of years back, but I barely use it. So this is gonna sound weird, but like I write what I hear from what I'm playing. So how I write is I play a progression, and then what the progression tells me, like the mood of the progression and the pattern played, is what gives me the lyrics. So I don't usually write with a plan in mind. Yeah.
Okay, so now, as a recording artist, would you like to know a bit about production so as to know exactly what you're going for, or you just prefer the producer doing all the magic? The producer and I added the sound engineer, which are two different things.
Okay, so guys, that's what Marco is for. In case you don't know, I'm always catching his streams so that I know what's happening, because I think it's always a good idea to have a little bit of knowledge about everything that goes around with like your profession. Yeah, so I'm not aspiring to be a producer or a sound engineer, but I want to know enough so that I know I'm able to have a conversation and I'm able to critique. Does that make sense? So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, following the example of the restaurant, like it's important to know the difference between fried and boiled. So at least you know. So let's close your intervention with this question. What do you do when you walk into a studio as an indie artist and meet a trap producer who is experimenting with you? Wow! That face will become a meme.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm very open to experimentation. First, let me make that clear in case I've come off as this hoity-toity artist who is so convinced that her stuff is like the best that she doesn't want to do anything other than that. So I have had experiences where I go into a studio and I'm given a beat and I'm told to write. And then it's, as you called it, it's like more of like hip hop trap, like pop music. And what I have experienced with that is it's very difficult, first of all, for me to write on demand. And this is a me thing. And it's just not genuine. It's just not, because it's a situation where there's a time factor. You walked in, you have 2 hours, you're given a beat, they're like, right. So I've done it before, and not once or twice. I've done it several times, but I always feel like I'm not at 100 when I write under those conditions. So, I mean, people are different. I think you should try it. If you never know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. For me, it generally doesn't work. Yeah.
So you'd like to be in control, like
Yeah. Oh,
immaculate. I'm not looking for a producer, I'm looking for a sound engineer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing ingredients, you just cook them.
Correct.
Yeah, which is an approach that I basically love, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Waluigi sounds whenever is a tough question. What is that? Waluigi sound. Do you know what he's talking about?
I have no idea what that is.
Dusty Chainsaw, you should suggest us the pusher you're going to buy drugs from. If it has this effect on you. What is that? Waluigi sounds. Ah, okay. I get it. Yeah. No, he's asking me to improve the live and put sounds where people that can interact and recall sounds. I will. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, you can do this kind of things, yeah. Now, but guys, please, Waxy, please also tell them to not be shy and push the heart button to follow me.
Please, yeah, guys, please follow this goofball.
And if people will follow me, you'll show what?
A lot of love.
You could have said your left ear, you know. Or we could have said, Waxy will show us a part of a body. Yes, your ear.
Please.
Sawa, we should have a roast, yes.
For Marco, yes.
Why? So, thank you very much, Waxy. Please give us your handles once again. If there is a specific link you want us to visit, feel free. Now that's your space.
So at Waxy _ that's WAKSY _ on Twitter and Instagram, and then it's Waxy Gashanja on Facebook and YouTube and SoundCloud. Waxy WAKSY Gashanja GACHANJA. I have a book coming out very soon. I'll give you guys a plug as soon as it's ready. Yeah, cheers. Thank you for having me.
Cool. Thank you, Waxy. Mwah. Bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay. Bye. Thank you. Boom, guys. So yeah, that was interesting. Waxy, thank you once again to have been to have been part of this. Wow, almost 2 hours, guys. For a lot of you is becoming kinda late. Of course, they can still be on live, but I'll. It will be a bit. We can start a new live maybe, so I can post this on YouTube, and then if you want to talk and chill with me, we can. So thank you very much, and I hope I will do another live mix with one of your songs. Also, I'll keep the guys posted about your book coming out. So as the live is coming to an end, now question before we go. And I'll give you my final consideration and why this live. So this live, guys, was important in my opinion to have as producers, as sound engineers, also to give you the other side of the bell, the other side of the coin. Sorry, we often think about the fact that it's always the client's fault. We never really focus on what we are doing wrong. So we think it's always, the client who doesn't know, was not right, etc. So this, it should make you better engineers and producer. In which sense? To make you understand that also on the other side, there is a struggle. There is, something going on. It's not only one-sided. Guys, you are awesome. Thanks to you to have had the patience to be here with me for 2 hours. But so, yeah, that's the thing. So guys, always keep in mind that whenever we are producing a song, we are interfacing with a human being. Never underestimate that. Otherwise, you get these people that are a bit egocentric, self-centered. That can really, sorry, I was reading a question, that can really ruin, you know, a whole production or the whole process. I mean, imagine again, I come in the studio slamming the door and say, yeah, I'm the #1 producer. How will the artist on that other side could feel, especially if maybe he's an upcoming artist, never had a serious experience? Well, that could be very, very much intimidating, I think. So always think that there is creativity on the other side. Creativity, we are doing music, so it's something that, you know, in art we really don't like rules, but you need to apply rules, even just, you know, of a common sense for a civilized common living. So what do I think about the kissers culture? People who have to pretend to agree with the producer singer, or generally the person with the higher position. Whoa. That's bad. That's bad. I disagree with that kind of culture of kissing asses. Though sometimes personal beliefs have to be put aside for a greater good. That can be a bigger project, can be get rid of that person. But it can be done in a healthy way. Even to criticize can be done in a healthy way. I remember when I was in high school, I was a super good student, but I hope there are no teachers following me. None of my previous teachers following me. I was very good, but I never ever opened a book at home. And I was always in contrast with the school system, with the subject that were taught, how they were taught, etc. But I never, I always criticized the system, even in front of the teachers. I remember one day clearly, there was a friend of mine that got suspended because he told to the teacher, whatever you're teaching is shit. Boom, suspended. I told my teacher the same thing in terms of content, but with different word, giving her, an essay of why what she was teaching was bad. And not only I did not got suspended, I even got her admiration. So, was I kissing her ass? No. I was criticizing her, but doing it in the right way. So, and there is a thin line between being a very assertive person or just being, this kind of yes man. Sometimes you have to match the two. Sometimes you really have to navigate a very thin line. Sometimes, guys, you got a rent to pay. So there is also the brutal truth, because making music, it's easy. It's easy, sorry. It's not easy, it's hard. It's fun. It seems easy. But, oh, wow. Still, you have to make money to pay the rent, because if I'm being a sound engineer 8 hours a day, and I'm not raising enough money with it, there is something wrong. Anyway, guys, if you don't have any other question, I'll remember the dates we have this week. So on Tuesday, we are going to be online live streaming with Chill Times, which is our space where we can just talk about things in general, which don't have to be audio related. Yeah, criticism over being truthful. So, sorry, Chill Time, things that don't have to be audio related, but, you know, we can even talk about the problems you have with your girlfriend, for what is my regard. Or more in general, you know, I introduced a theme, which last time was how to get your fast client. So that's just a start. Then we can talk about totally different topics. I might even put a gameplay as a background for us to talk. But I think, you know, that's the time where we like the theme for next episode can really happen. So don't miss that appointment. Thursday live mix. So please send me, if you want to appear in live mix, send me your tracks. DM me here on Facebook. You have my WhatsApp. I'm everywhere. You can email me, whatever. Send me your tracks, and we'll do the live mix of it. So follow me on social. Follow me here. Sorry, here. I always get confused. And thank you very much to have been so patient to be here for 2 hours. If you like it, comment it, share it. You can watch it and rewatch it offline in YouTube. I'll put the link on Facebook. If you didn't like, do whatever you want. And guys, thank you for the love. See you for the next episode. Chill Time, Thursday, 7 p.m. UTC +1. So it means in Kenya will be 9 p.m. See you guys. Thank you.